Pupy. I hope you guys are all doing well. And those were not Poopy talking. Those, if you guys listen to that recording, elephants, happy elephant sounds. We're here with Poopy getting ready for her transfer from Ecoparque Buenos Aires. We're super excited to be here in these hopefully final steps of the journey. Still have a few logistics to resolve, but we're getting close. For everybody to know, we are streaming on multiple platforms. So we have various people watching, our team members watching comments, questions. We will be getting comments and questions from some of our team. So feel free to ask away. If we don't get to them this time, there will be lots of opportunity along the trip, the next few days here and on the journey to converse, get your questions answered, ask what you want to ask, learn what you want to learn, and we'll share as much as we can here from Ecoparque Buenos Aires and our lovely Miss Poopy. She's doing exceedingly well. She looks so much better than she did a few years ago. The team has worked diligently to prepare her for this moment, worked on a lot of weight loss, change of diet, more diverse diet, a little bit more stimulation with the topography here. They added a few hills, not huge hills, but definitely working to build her strength and build her agility and getting her ready for this beautiful journey. So we're excited to share with you. Haley, just so you know, I don't have a lot of comments that I can see, but I only have a few hearts, which we'd love to see. But if you guys want to, Haley, if you want to type in messages, questions that you guys have, they'll pop up on my screen, and I will gladly answer them. So Pupy is a 36-year-old female African elephant. She was going to be the very first resident elephant, African elephant to come to Elephant Sanctuary Brazil. In Mato Grosso, it is going to be about a 4-day trip once we get out of here. Again, we still have several days to go. Many of you know of Pupy as with Pupy and Kuki. Kuki was her partner here, another female African elephant who lived here in the eco park with her for many years. Tragically and very sadly, Pupy passed away about 2 months ago. I don't remember the exact time frame because time has almost no relevance. It just goes all over the place. But she passed away a few months ago, and the team has been fully devoted to Pupy ever since, and just doing exceedingly well. They've actually been really impressed to see how strong she has been through this, how much she has come out of her shell, much more expressive, much more playful, much more active. We think a lot of that has to do with her needing to stand on her own and not having somebody to lean on as much. Just kind of forced her to find herself a little bit more. She's no longer one of two. She is her own being, and it's been wonderful and beautiful to watch how the caregivers have nurtured her through this transition for her, while they're also going through their own transition of having lost somebody that they cared for and loved, while at the same time getting ready to say goodbye to Pupy as she goes on her journey to Elephant Sanctuary Brazil. The team here is amazing. They've done tremendous work at the Ecoparque Buenos Aires. Later, we'll share some photos of the inside of the enclosure, inside of the barn. Because it is a quarantine area, I have to get all garbed up to go in there. So I'm not going to do that during the live. But we will share some photos of the inside so you can see what their life was like. And everybody here is transforming life for animals within this eco park. We learned yesterday that they have relocated 980 animals. There are several exotics that remain. Sometimes they don't have proper housing for them somewhere else. Some giraffes, hippos, they have not been able to find suitable long-term sanctuaries for them. Some of them are too old. There is one hippo who is quite old. She and her son are still around. at the eco park, but mom, they said, is probably not suitable for transfer anywhere. So they're doing all that they can to send as many animals as possible. Again, over 980 animals have been sent from the eco park. They're now focusing a lot more on indigenous wildlife conservation programs, breeding, releasing of Indian condors. They have some snail and frog reproduction program for endangered snails and frogs that they're working on. And not counting the snails and frogs, they have 400 animals that remain here at the eco park. And uh, but yeah, down from over 1,200 from some time ago, 6 years ago. So amazing what they've done, sending animals to accredited or very reputable sanctuaries internationally. Tremendous expense to the city, tremendous logistical work from the team here. And as they told me yesterday, Pupy is the last of those big transfers. Hola. Sim, sim, estou constantuado. Ah. Gracias. No, tranquilo. Obrigado. Gracias. Sorry, I'm speaking Spanish and Portuguese, and Spanish is horrible, and Portuguese is not great, and too many languages. So a lot of security here at the zoo, at the eco park. I'm making sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. So hopefully they won't kick me out. So I have a couple questions that came in. Will her care be different than the other girls at SV? No, her care is essentially the same. You know, space, freedom, nurturing, different diet. She actually gets really, really good medical care here. Her feet are a little bit thin, so they'll need to toughen up a little bit, but that'll happen over a little bit of time. But overall, her care will be essentially the same. Kenya will be joining her soon-ish. Things are moving forward down in Mendoza also, so within hopefully a short stint, within a couple months, hopefully Kenya will be finalized with all her requirements and she will be joining Pupy at Elephant Sanctuary Brazil. Will she be able to interact with the Asian elephants? No, not physically, no. But they will be able to hear each other. Of course, sounds echo all over the place. So we'll be excited to see how she engages with them audibly. But she won't be that long before, oops, what did I just do? Before Kenya comes and joins her. Let's see. Somebody said, glad to know that the team here in Argentina is great. Hope you have a smooth trip with Sanctuary and Pupy. Yes. Somebody just said, Nicole, you just asked, will they understand each other? You know, we don't really know because, you know, their languages are very different, but so much of elephant communication is not just the spoken word. It's going to be the energy behind it. You know, it goes back to what we talk about with caregivers that speak Spanish or English or Portuguese. You know, you can say the same command, same instruction in a different language, and they very quickly understand because it's more about the intention. And I think we'll see a lot of interaction, you know, between them, especially as Pupy's on her own. I'm going to walk around a little bit. Hopefully connection will stay good. The team here really is amazing. I was talking to Maria Jose, who is one of the directors today, and they really should be so proud of what this team has done. You know, it's not easy to say goodbye to somebody that you love and care for, and they really are very devoted to her. When you talk to them about her existence here, the thing they keep saying is, this is no life for an elephant. This is no life for our beloved Pupy. You know, we're going to miss her terribly, but she doesn't belong here. Look at that gorgeous girl. You are stunning. You're so, so stunning. You're beautiful. She's just amazing. The lighting's a little harsh here with the dark light, dark shadows and bright sun. So I can't really make her any lighter with the control that I have my camera. Somebody just said, how will you introduce Pupy in Kenya? You know, that's a process that depends on them. You know, the first thing we do is let Kenya settle in. She'll have 24 hours just kind of on her own a little bit. And then when Pupy comes back and see how their interaction between them are, then that decides what's next. It's the same as the Asians, you know, just giving them a chance to let them tell us what it is that they need to do. We're watching behavior, watching securities, watching facial expressions, watching tensions, watching muscle tension, watching everything about them to gauge how they're feeling about each other, interactions along a fence, and then at some point open up the fence between them. That can be as little as 24 hours or several days, depending on what they're doing. Kenya hasn't seen another elephant in 30-something years, so it'll be exciting to see her see elephants for the first time, see another African elephant for the first time. But yeah, really, really excited. So here we go, getting ready for Pupy's trip, and later on, Kenya's arrival. In their crazy African elephant noses, they are so much more limber than Asian elephants. Really, really different species so much, and so much more, a little more dramatic. She's a little quiet. She's expressive, but she's a little bit quiet. So we're excited to see that side of her come out. She's a little bit small for an African elephant. She's actually not probably going to be smaller than some of our Asians. Cute little thing, sweet little thing. Again, she's doing exceptionally well with all of her training and conditioning. Maybe later on we'll be able to show some of her conditioning to the crate, depending on how things are going. Sorry, lots of noise here, lots of sirens. It is actually a beautiful little zoo, little eco-park, but at the same time, you're in the city. A lot of noise, a lot of vibrations, a lot of rumbling. But, yeah.
¿Usted de acá?
Sí.
¿Del Ecoparque?
Sí, esto como un santuario de elefantes.
¿De allá de Brasil?
Sí. Gracias, señor.
Porque como no te vi con algo de acá del Ecoparque,
sí.
y porque cada tanto, viste, se nos mete gente, nos
Sí.
abre,
No,
y viene hasta acá, y
sí.
no dije nada.
Gracias, señor. Hello, gorgeous. She is so pretty. So pretty. African elephants are so vastly different than Asian elephants. Somebody said, are there even other African elephants in South America? Yes, there's quite a few. There are more Asian elephants in South America, but there are quite a few. Colombia, Chile, several places have several locations do have African elephants. And somebody asked a little while ago, is Kenya coming? Yes, Kenya is coming. Do you care for them differently? No, care is essentially the same. A little bit different diet. Supplements might be a little bit different, but overall general care is going to be the same. Working around them is a little bit different. Working, the training and stuff, just a little bit different, not substantially so. They can be a little bit more responsive than Asian elephants, a little more reactive. So a little different approach, but not much, not substantially so. It all goes back to listening to the individual. It's not about necessarily the elephants as a whole. It's about who is Pupy, who is Kenya, who is Mar, who's Hana. They're all different individuals. So that falls into play more than it does with an African versus an Asian. Hola Mirta. Hello everybody. Lots of hellos, lots of kind remarks. Thank you very much for all of this. Thank you for joining us. You guys can follow along. Somebody will put a link for how to join text messaging. So you can get text messages as we're on our way, so you get up to date what's happening as we go. We'll be sharing more lives as we go through multiple platforms. More videos, more photos will be shared across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Join us however you want, and invite others. It's an exciting journey. It's a really exciting journey for multiple reasons. As we said yesterday, this enclosure, this building, 120 years of elephants in this space, 120 years of inherent compromise, soon to be an end. And again, it's beautiful to see the care team and how they feel about this, all saying it's time to be done. It's time to blow up the building, although they shouldn't because it's an architectural beauty. But certainly the commitment is there to never have elephants in the space again, and hopefully never have elephants in the city of Buenos Aires again. They don't belong in captivity. Ultimately they don't belong in a sanctuary, but the sanctuary is the best we can do while they are in captivity. Give them much more to live for, live within, much more to celebrate, space to recover and heal and grow. But captivity is not a place for them. They all deserve so much more. I just got another message from some of our team in Brazil. Everything's aligned at the border crossing from Argentina to Brazil. Teams from all over the place. What are you doing, cute girl? You're gorgeous with beautiful tusks and beautiful eyes. I can't wait to bring you home. I really can't. You're amazing. We're not doing much with her. The team here is responsible for the crate training, and they're doing exceedingly well. So we're just going to honor that, help them out if they need us. Okay, I gotcha. Help them out if they need us. Little signs like that. She's not comfortable with me right there. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I can step away. I can give her that space. And that's just a little sign of, hey, we're listening. You know, we hear you. They will often do this. Um, it doesn't take much to say, okay, you know, we honor. But what happens most of the time in this scenario, oh, look, she wants something. She's reaching out to us, you know, and people turn it into love, and it's not. It's, please leave. And that's perfect. I adore that communication. We've talked about it before. So many times with elephants captivity, they're not really seen, they're not really heard, they're not really listened to. So we take any communication of, hey, please leave, communication of affection, communication of, I need something. I'll take any of that. I'll take anything that they want to give and say, okay, I getcha. You know, I hear it, I see it. Um, Listen, step away, let her know you understand, and it's something that starts to build that trust with them. It starts to let them see you a little bit differently than what they've had in the past. Um, you know, there's a lot of times that people turn negative action into aggression, into affection because they want the elephant to love them. I don't need her to love me. I just want her to know that I respect her. You know, and that's the pivotal point with all of this. We hear you, we see you, we understand you. You know, that communication is pivotal for her to express what she needs, when she needs along the trip. Let us know what you're feeling. Let us know what you're seeing. Let us know what your needs are. You know, the caregivers will be there. Several of the caregivers will be there. Some of the veterinary team will be there, but still need her to communicate. Let us know, and so it's part of that communication. So yes, their skin is vastly different before and after arriving in the sanctuary. Also, African elephant skin is vastly different than Asian elephant skin. You'll see a transition with Pupy skin, and we'll be excited to share that with you. But so much of it goes back to, you know, in this case, African versus Asian, vastly different skin. She's in relatively good condition. Again, she's an elephant that's been in captivity. She has some joint issues. You'll see. I got you, my dear. I got you. Now she's just going to be playful and silly. You're going to be playful and silly, aren't you? I'm going to step away more. You're a good girl. Again, all of that is going to be testing boundaries, testing, see what we respond to. They've actually said she's getting really spunky and playful. A little more vocal with what she needs, what she's uncomfortable with. They said she had an off day a couple of days ago where she just wasn't cooperative. But she's doing really well. She's a beautiful girl. So she does have some joint issues. She has, you can see that back right leg pops a little bit, the knee and the ankle both pop. So what that means for her long term, we really don't know. So we'll be able to gauge that a little bit later. But that back right knee pops a lot, and that ankle pops. So we'll be curious to watch how that evolves. She is locked out of her barn right now. They are cleaning the barn. Let me go around the other side. Sorry, closing some gates. I'll take you for a little walk. How many years did she spend in captivity? She's been in captivity for the majority of her life. I think she was imported just like 3 or 4 years old from Africa, and then she's been here ever since. I'll tell you, one of the really cool things about walking around the zoo is how many empty enclosures there are. You know, you see these old enclosures that who knows what lived here at that time. But this was the existence of some species that didn't belong in captivity. You know, that's their entire life, and now they're living a sanctuary life. You know, they're living, you know, sanctuaries internationally where these animals have been spent, and it's actually, again, really fun to walk through the zoo and see how many animals aren't here. You know, overgrown enclosures. It's just amazing. It's really beautiful. They've just made such a huge transition here at the Ecoparque, and such a huge commitment from the city, from the politicians, from the managers and directors of the zoo. Just been they've done so much. They've done so much. Somebody just said, does she miss Cookie? With certainty. There's no doubt in my mind. The caregivers talk about how much she has grown and evolved, and she has. You know, she's really come into her own a little bit, but at the same time, that doesn't mean she doesn't miss having a friend and doesn't miss somebody that was so meaningful for her for all those years. going back to the captivity question, 36 years old, and the vast majority of that in captivity in this space for over 30 years. So pretty remarkable how well they do considering. Again, the team is very committed to doing everything they can within the limitations that exist. There's a lot of limitations within this type of enclosure. But the zoo, the Ecoparque, and the caregiving team, the veterinary team, the behavioral team are doing everything. I was speaking to one of the behavioralists yesterday, and she's in tears, talking about Pupy and how well she's done. She's just grown so much, so much. She's just evolved tremendously in the last few months. Again, coming into her own, exploring life on her own a little bit more, a little bit more self-confident, a little more independent, which may be exactly what she needed for this trip to prepare her for that next step. With certainty, we all would have wanted Cookie to be with her. I think Pupy would probably say the same. But just amazing how much they tolerate, how much they endure for all those years. This is her transport crate. This is where the second crate was going to go. And then her pond and her enclosure. All right, guys, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to have to go. I actually have to do some more documenting the space, documenting Pupy, taking some more photos, going for a tour to look at some other parts of the Ecoparque. Actually trying to get some ideas for some of our wildlife enclosures, wildlife shifting gates and things of that nature. And Trish is actually, Dr. Trish is here. She's actually right now participating or observing ultrasound in another procedure, I think with an ocelot and also an otter. So getting to see a few different things out of the ordinary, getting to go see their medical facility. They really have a great program here, especially for wildlife recovery, breeding, reintroduction. It's been their primary focus at this point, especially after moving as many exotics out as they have been able to move out. They're now able to focus on true and much bigger conservation projects that are really impactful for wild populations. So, all right, so I'm gonna have to go. Again, you guys all take care. So much love and appreciation for all of you joining us. I look forward to sharing much more as the time goes on. And send your questions. Send questions through any of the comments here. We'll compile those. Some of our team back in the United States will send me a list of questions later on. Happy to answer those as we go and share more through the coming days. Again, kudos to Ecoparque Buenos Aires. Kudos to the government that has remained so devoted to making this incredible change within the Ecoparque and changing these lives for so many animals, to give them what they can after so many years in captivity. So with that, I must go. You guys take care. Lots of love, big hugs, and ciao ciao for now from Ecoparque Buenos Aires.